Mid-America Industrial Park's Living Grand on Grand Lake is made possible by
the Grand River Dam Authority and the Mid-America Industrial Park have worked together for over 50 years now to bring jobs and industry into this part of the state. There's a lot of great opportunity in the Mid-America Industrial Park, both at our facility and all the industries that are located there. High-paying tech jobs that we need, kids coming out of high school that have this computer knowledge today that we didn't have 25, 30 years ago. We can do the training right there in the park. There's a lot of good resources there in the park. They don't have to go the college path to get into the workforce and make really good money. It's really neat now to see this generational shift. We've got mom and dad out there now in a lot of cases, and now their kids are graduating from high schools in the area and they're looking for opportunities as well. The Grand River Dam Authority is really proud to help young people start their career and help build their lives.
I had the drive to boost my earning power.
I was driven to be more competitive in the job market.
Finishing my degree, that's what drives me.
If you left college without a degree, Reach Higher, Oklahoma's degree completion program, can change your life. You get affordable tuition, flexible class schedules with online options, and a degree from a state university.
I was driven to earn my diploma.
And I did it.
Apply today at reachhigheroklahoma.org. Let your drive drive you.
The Grand River Dam Authority is Oklahoma's state-owned electric utility, fully funded by revenues from electric and water sales instead of taxes. GRDA electricity touches 75 of 77 counties in the state and serves as an economic development engine for all of Oklahoma. At no cost to taxpayers, GRDA also manages 70,000 surface acres of lakes, including Grand Lake, Lake Hudson, and the W.R. Hallway Reservoir. Annually, the efforts of Team GRDA facilitate over $450 million in economic activity in Oklahoma.
and by viewers and members like you.
Coming up on Mid-America's Living Grand on Grand Lake, we'll take you for the ride of a lifetime on a cat that travels over 100 miles per hour. Plus, we'll introduce you to a restaurant owner who has a love for cooking and has made it her second career. And what was once a black powder munitions facility is now home to some of the biggest companies in the United States. All of these stories and more coming up on Mid-America's Living Grand on Grand Lake.
And this
is Living Grand.
And this is Living Grand.
This is Living Grand.
And this is Living Grand.
This is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
Few people know the thrill of skipping over the water at more than 100 miles per hour. Our crew is treated to a ride on a gorgeous catamaran owned by Robert Brown.
I've always been addicted to speed, and like anything with a motor, I'm not a big football fan, sports fan. I like anything with a motor. My parents had a drag boat when I was a kid, and as I got older, I graduated to different size boats and price points where I could afford to get something like this. I named my boat Faster Dad Faster. It's a 2003 36-foot Eliminator called a Daytona. They're made in California, and they make all sizes from 18 to 38 foot, I believe. Bob Leach started Eliminator boats back in the mid-60s, I would say, and they kind of evolved from drag boats. Drag boat racing, quarter-mile racing, and then boats gradually got bigger. Lakes got rougher, so boats got bigger again because the lakes got so rough, and then performance, and this has twin motors, and it's got twin big block Chevys, and things just kind of evolved into what they are, and different price points for different people. Well, they're Mercury Racing 500 EFIs, which Mercury makes all different size motors from small V8s, small 4 cylinders, up to 1,650 horsepower. These are right at 518 horse apiece or so. My boat will run approximately 107 on a good day. This style of boat I've seen run 190. The catamaran has a tunnel down the middle that it lifts up on a pocket of air, It's wider on the front than it is on the back. And as you're going into the wind or just down the lake, it picks up the boat and it runs on two spots, and kind of like a pontoon boat, but it's all out of fiberglass. And a V-bottom is just what it is. It's simply a V-bottom. My son, 14-year-old son, drives it. It's not hard at all. But once there is some techniques for turning and things like that, because a cat does turn different than a V-bottom. But overall, no, it's something that you can learn fairly easy. June 2nd, 2012, I lost my 24-year-old son in a tragic car wreck. He graduated Tulsa University 14 months before the accident, and just miss him every day. My heart goes out to any other parent that ever has to go through the tragedy of losing their child. But golly, what can you say? It's one of those deals you don't wish on anybody. So he had a 2006 Dodge with a Cummins in it. I had bought the truck from him 6 months before the accident, and he went and bought him a little BMW. So I said, well, you and I will build your truck up to race. So you can race it, and I'll help Rich on it. And well, before we could really get a lot done, consequently he got killed, and afterwards I was just at a loss. So finally some of his friends pitched in, and they came and got my truck, the Dodge, or his truck I should say, and they took it, and they called me the next day and said, you don't get it back till Dino for Dex, which was in May. They presented it back to me, and it was just kind of like overhauling on TV. It was just amazing. I mean, I could do nothing but keep the tears out of my eyes. So they just have kept me from consequently doing something stupid. His friends have just taken me in, and basically they call me Papa Dex, kind of affectionately. Well, I like the speed, I like the wind in my face. I like being in the water. I started water skiing when I was 5 years old, and I'm 62 now. And just socializing, visiting with your friends, and just like lake life. It doesn't get much better. Being on the water, it's kind of my happy place.
Stay with us. We have something sweet and spicy coming up next.
This is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
This is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
The Grand River Dam Authority and the Mid-American Industrial Park have worked together for over 50 years now to bring jobs and industry into this part of the state. There's a lot of great opportunity in the Mid-American Industrial Park, both at our facility and all the industries that are located there. High-paying tech jobs that we need, kids coming out of high school that have this computer knowledge today that we didn't have 25, 30 years ago. We can do the training right there in the park. There's a lot of good resources there in the park. They don't have to go the college path to get into the workforce and make really good money. It's really neat now to see this generational shift. We've got mom and dad out there now in a lot of cases, and now their kids are graduating from high schools in the area, and they're looking for opportunities as well. The Grand River Dam Authority is really proud to help young people start their career and help build their lives.
So one of the things that we have on Grand Lake is we have several businesses that are open in the evening in several places for people to go eat dinner by boat. So a lot of people don't boat at night, and one of the things to remember is no matter how familiar you are with the lake looks different every night because there's different lights on every night. So make sure you know where you're going, and obviously we discourage the consumption of alcohol and driving a vessel, but more importantly, make sure your vessel's set up to operate at night, and make sure you know how to operate your vessel at night. It's not uncommon for us to stop somebody out here that either don't have their navigation lights on or only have part of their navigation lights on, and they don't know how to turn them on. And not only is that embarrassing for them, but it's just tremendously dangerous for the other vessels that are out at night. And if you're going to be out at night, check your lights before you leave. It's a great idea to carry a spare bulb and the tools to change them, because they do burn out at the most inopportune times. So again, if you're going to go out at night, know where you're going, be familiar with that, and make sure all the equipment on your vessel is working.
And now, time for the Grand Lake Chronicle events page. Grand Lake RV Resorts hosts the Party at the Point in the tailwaters of Duck Creek on Saturday, August 27th. Enjoy live music from the Law Dogs, Travis Kidd, and Alaska and Maddie. Enroll in a bikini contest or a six-pack contest. You can find all the information you need to reserve your place at the party at partyatthepointgrandlake.com. Journey back in time at the Mahogany and Chrome Festival at Arrowhead Yacht Club on Saturday, September 10th. The event is open to the public from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., so plan to stop by to see those beautiful vintage boats and vote for your personal favorite. If you have any questions or would like to enter your boat in the contest, visit heartlandclassics.org. If you're a history buff or just curious about how a hydroelectric dam works, we've got good news for you. The Grand River Dam Authority is offering free tours of the dam now through Labor Day. Come to GRDA's Ecosystems and Education Center in Langley anytime between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. to learn about the dam that makes Grand Lake possible. Visit grda.com for more information. Well, that's it for now from the Grand Lake Chronicle events page.
Kick up your boots and stop on by for some sweet, spicy, and oh-so-yummy barbecue. Wanda Gauger retired from a nursing career and decided to expand her love of cooking into a barbecue restaurant in her hometown of Ketchum.
So it's kind of almost a gathering place, you know, and that's kind of what we're looking forward to, was to have a little place where people can come, you know, and everybody knows who you are, and we know what you're gonna have to drink, and you know, it makes it real home-wise. We cook all our own desserts, we make all our own fresh salads, so everything that comes out of here is homemade. This was Main Street. It was a very busy little Main Street when I was a kid, and there was lots of businesses on the street, and a friend of mine owned this building. And I went to high school here in the 70s, and when I retired, I was just looking for a little restaurant, which I love to cook, so I was looking for a building that kind of fit with what I had in mind, you know. And this building fits real well, so I was really happy to be able to get the building. This used to be a doctor's office in the 50s, and the telephone company in the 60s, and a newspaper office. I've been a nurse for 30 years, so I had a career in nursing from the 85 on, and the last 15 years I worked for the state. And I was just ready to retire. It was really stressful. So I thought I'd open my own business and work 12 hours a day and not be stressed. And I worked with lots of people in Bonita that were what I would call experts, you know, had been at it 30 and 40 years and 50 years. And they gave me lots and lots of tips. Lots of tips on smoking meat and how not to smoke it, what to do to smoke it, what kind of wood to use, how long to smoke it. It's a whole new world. So I really relied on them a lot, and they gave me lots of tips, and their food was wonderful. They really gave me a heads up on how to get it going and how to make the product, you know, as good as you could. I think our most popular item is probably our sticky ribs. They're a nice big rack of ribs. The sauce is cooked on those in the last hour. And also the chicken. Smoked chicken is, a lot of barbecue places don't do smoked chicken. So we do a lot of whole chicken, and we sell a lot of that. And now we've just expanded our menu. We make barbecue nachos. We, you know, We started doing chef salads in the summer with all of our smoked turkey, smoked ham, bacon. I think our brisket, I sell a lot of brisket, and that's the hardest thing to learn how to cook. And you have to practice every day. My daughter's a waitress. She's also can do anything in the kitchen that I do. She doesn't do the meat, but she does all the sides, and she waits tables. And my granddaughter comes up during summer sometimes and helps. It truly is a family business. My son, when he was here, he came on Saturday nights and we did steaks out in the smoke shack. You know, it's a easy, reliable. You don't have to worry about what's going on behind you. You know that everything is being done and taken care of just like you were doing it yourself. I feel like we're given a different place to eat, which is scarce around, you know, so it's hard to find somewhere else to go. I feel like we're putting out a great product and people are telling me we're having a great product, and that's what makes me excited. You know, it makes me want to come back tomorrow, and it's been a lot of fun. I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, it's a lot of work, but I have so much fun coming to work.
You might want to grab a couple of extra napkins before sinking your teeth into those delicious ribs. If you want to keep up with Living Grand on Grand Lake, you can do so by visiting our website at rsu.tv, where you can watch this year's entire season. Coming up next, it's home to Google, DuPont, and the satellite campus of RSU. We're talking about Mid-America Industrial Park.
You two look happy? Is there anything else I can get for you? Okay.
Cherokee Casino and Hotel, West Siloam Springs. The feeling stays with you.
Since I was a kid, I'd always wanted to be in the Army, and I always wanted to join Special Operations. So I actually joined the Army as a plumber. Fought and clawed my way up into Special Forces. It sounds weird, but I was blessed to go to war, one of the first into both Afghanistan and Iraq. You're recruited and trained and selected and mentored to be able to stand alone, and when you're injured, you just suck it up and drive on. You stay in the fight. And I never noticed any changes whatsoever in me. Then the doctors started looking at me, and they found traumatic brain injuries. I was suffering from migraines, and I'd suffered vision loss, and facing all those injuries. Once they pointed them out to me, that was my biggest challenge. What's next? I disappeared on a hill in Oklahoma for 3 years trying to figure that out. We stood up the Foundation for Exceptional Warriors in 2012. We're outdoor based because that's where I found healing, and that's what I want to share. Anything a warrior wants to do, we'll try and facilitate it, because I want to see that healing. I want to see that reconnection with his family, that new spark in his life. I want to see that. For the hard times, the challenges that running a foundation present, the peace that touching a warrior's life gives me overrides all that. My name's Ronnie Swegger, and I'm honored to have served my country.
During World War II, there was a black powder munition facility just outside Pryor. Today, it's home to Google, DuPont, Sigma, Red Devil, Himsaw, and many more. In total, 3,700 people work there every day. We're talking about Mid-America Industrial Park, the proud sponsor of this show. We sat down with David Stewart, Executive Director, to talk about the history of the park.
Well, our ultimate goal is really to fill the park with businesses that provide great jobs for the residents of Northeast Oklahoma. Well, over time, there has been 80 different companies that make this home, and over 3,700 employees come to work here every day. It was a black powder munitions plant back from World War II. And all of the assets were then transferred into a trust because they were, decommissioned. So the water plant, the waste treatment plant, all of the roads and all of the buildings that were used in the plant were then put into the trust, and then the land has since been sold to companies, and it is what it is today. So all those things made up for a great place for industry to start. So what we find is we have a lot of chemical plants. I.E. DuPont has a agri-nutrition plant here. We have a distribution, and we have really a wide variety of industries here. Google is a major player here and one of the, I guess, the most innovative. They have the data center here, one of the 8 in the United States. And surprisingly enough, they're a heavy water user and electric user because they have to cool all of the computers there. We strive to make this effectively a business community. So we have urgent care. We have, of course, emergency services here. We have 3 educational institutions on site, and then all of the businesses. So hotels, up on the 69 highway. So we have everything it takes to operate a business effectively. It's so hard to find a job. It's so hard to find training. And really, it's hard to understand really what jobs are because they're changing, they're technical, and the current system doesn't really do that. So I get to drive change in the schools through Mid-America Delivers and really give these students an opportunity to have a career. Mid-America Delivers is the program that we branded to sell what I would say is the combination of all of the training and opportunities here to potential employees, and that would include students, right? So Mid-America Delivers is a program where you can get training, you can get exposure to the business, you can get internships, you get job shadowing. We actually have the businesses that are going out to the schools to talk to the students about their companies and about the careers that are available. So it's a very long-term view of a program that is designed to get kids familiar with the opportunities here at the park so that they can go to work after they get out of school right here. Well, part of Mid-America Delivers extends into the high schools. So what we decided is that we needed to have a mini career center within the high school so that we could communicate with students, we could get the businesses, give the businesses a place to go to talk to the students, and actually get the students more involved in science, technology, and mathematics, STEM education. So we basically funded in the schools in Mays County a STEM lab, and that lab has been redesigned with computers and all of the lab equipment and all the kits for the students to actually have hands-on training to make things and do things in a little more of an advanced way. We want people here over the years to know that Mid-America is here, there's a job here for them, there's training available, and that they can live a great life, right here in Northeast Oklahoma because, if you live here, you want to stay here. And if you don't have an opportunity to have a career, then you might leave or go to school and then leave. And so we don't want that. We want people to see the future.
Well, that's it for this edition of Mid-America's Living Grand on Grand Lake. I'm Christy Wallace. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week with another edition of Mid-America's Living Grand on Grand Lake.
Mid-America's Industrial Park's Living Grand on Grand Lake is made possible by
Grand River Dam Authority and the Mid-American Industrial Park have worked together for over 50 years now to bring jobs and industry into this part of the state. There's a lot of great opportunity in the Mid-American Industrial Park, both at our facility and all the industries that are located there. High-paying tech jobs that we need, kids coming out of high school that have this computer knowledge today that we didn't have 25, 30 years ago. We can do the training right there in the park. There's a lot of good resources there in the park. They don't have to go the college path to get into the workforce and make really good money. It's really neat now to see this generational shift. We've got mom and dad out there now in a lot of cases, and now their kids are graduating from high schools in the area, and they're looking for opportunities as well. The Grand River Dam Authority is really proud to help young people start their career and help build their lives.
Also by
Grand River Dam Authority is Oklahoma's state-owned electric utility, fully funded by revenues from electric and water sales instead of taxes. GRDA electricity touches 75 of 77 counties in the state and serves as an economic development engine for all of Oklahoma. At no cost to taxpayers, GRDA also manages 70,000 surface acres of lakes, including Grand Lake, Lake Hudson, and the W.R. Hallway Reservoir. Annually, the efforts of Team GRDA facilitate over $450 million in economic activity in Oklahoma.
Plus by
I had the drive to boost my earning power.
I was driven to be more competitive in the job market.
Finishing my degree. That's what drives me.
If you left college without a degree, Reach Higher, Oklahoma's degree completion program, can change your life. You get affordable tuition, flexible class schedules with online options, and a degree from a state university.
I was driven to earn my diploma.
And I did it.
Apply today at reachhigheroklahoma.org. Let your drive drive you.
and by viewers and members like you.